Hello, I'm Vicente Aceituno, Director of Innovament Spain. Welcome to my weekly video blog. This week, I wanted to help you evaluating how good is for you all the guidance that you can find all over our profession. You have ETIL, you have ISO 27001, CMMI, OSTTM, OSN3, and many other standards and guidance in the field of information security. In order to do this, we need to understand the problem landscape that the guidance is trying to help us with. First of all, what is the goal? Are we seeking compliance? Are we seeking confidentiality, integrity, availability? Are we seeking complying with business requirements? What is what we want to achieve? We need to understand what is the goal. The second piece of the problem landscape we need to understand is how far are we from the goal. In order to prepare to achieve our goals, we will need to understand either how far can we get with the resources we have or what resources we need in order to achieve the goal. Next, we have to plan with the resources we have, what are the things we are going to do and why, and what are the things we are not going to do and why. In other words, we are going to prioritize our efforts. The why sometimes will be compliance, sometimes will be return of investment, sometimes will be risk reduction, or perhaps something else, depending on the standard we are using. Once we are on our way, we will need to understand how far are we from the goal at a certain point in time. If our plans are rendering the results we were expecting, and if we are compliant with whatever we decided to be compliant with. Sometimes we will want to demonstrate to third parties how good we are with the results we are getting. In order to do that, we will normally go for some kind of certification. Ideally, any guidance should provide a working model and a language that will help us manage and achieve the goals we are trying to achieve. And the level of detail should help us understand who, what, where, when, etc. A good model will have the ability to explain the past, predict the future, and enable us to control future events. So, in order to evaluate any standard when it comes to help us in our work, we will have to first figure out what are the questions it does actually tackle, what is the working model, what is the language it provides, and what is the depth level that it provides. In my humble opinion, when a standard is good for nothing, is no good, and when a standard is good for everything, again, is no good. It's like a horoscope. You read it, it feels like if it applies to you. What would be my wish list for perfect guidance? It would have an explicit model, it would have explicit language, it will tackle every question in an explicit way so you know exactly what the guidance is about, and it would have enough depth so we can actually apply it without figuring out too many things. If we were to evaluate OSN3 from this point of view, I think it would fare quite well. I think now you have the framework in order to better understand what are the things that a standard is helping you with and how much. So I invite you to look at the things you are currently using and have a look at it and see if where you need additional help. Well, this was a very long video, longer than I'm used to. Thank you for your time, and I will see you next week.